What is going on, guys? I'm Megapack, CEO of Elite Automation, Elite Properties, and an investor in Tesla. Thanks for joining today, guys. Honestly, this is not great news, but the big beautiful bill has passed, and I want to talk about how the $7,500 tax credit is going to impact Tesla. And honestly, it's not good. And I kind of want to explain on how it's how it's going to impact us in the short term and how it's going to impact us in the long term. And so let's kind of just jump right into this. So over the course of this next month, we might see an actual increase in sales just because this tax credit is pretty much definitively and by law going to end here in I believe it's September or August. And so since that $7,500 tax credit is going to end, basically that won't be applied to the vehicle anymore. So if you don't know what the tax credit is anytime you go to buy a Tesla, right, or any EV actually, you get a $7,500 credit off the vehicle, and you can actually apply that at checkout. So if I'm buying a $40,000 vehicle, I get the $7,500 tax credit, meaning the vehicle's actually only $32,500. So it's a pretty significant savings on a vehicle like that. I mean, almost a quarter of the cost of the vehicle. I mean, especially if you got the lowest base model, you can get a $30,000. It'd be hard to get $30,000, but if you get the most base model, Tesla, I mean, you could get almost 30% of the price of the vehicle off of that with the tax credit. So the tax credit is going to end here in I believe it's September, maybe it's August, but we're going to see a increase probably in sales over this next quarter, just due to people rushing in to get it. Even somebody like me, I'm not really in the position to buy another vehicle, which that's something I'm doing on another side of things with some of our automotive rental vehicles and stuff like that. So we also have an automotive company as well, but and I want to work on building out a fleet of Teslas. So we're working on validating some cash flow things on that business to see if things make sense. So I'm not really in the position to buy another Tesla as far as a business stance goes. However, I would like to, and this makes it much more compelling for me to want to do that, just because I mean, it's that much off the vehicle. Technically, once this tax credit is removed from the vehicle, now essentially the vehicle's value and use value might even go up. And the value of the vehicle itself is definitely going to go up because you're no longer going to be able to get $7,500 off the vehicle. So overnight, that vehicle becomes $7,500 more valuable than what it was before. For example's sake, if I just give you random numbers sake, we bought those vehicles at $32,500, right? Now everybody else has to buy them at $40,000 as soon as the tax credit's over. So with that being said, you could almost, theoretically, I'm just using this for number's sake, you could turn around and sell them all for $35,000 because somebody's getting those vehicles $5,000 off of what they can currently buy them at. So, yeah, there's going to be a lot of people that are rushing in to buy a lot of Teslas over the course of this next month. Now, I think it might have a significant impact on future sales. The cost of a vehicle and your monthly payment is a huge, portion of the buying decision of a vehicle, right? Almost everybody primarily looks at what is my monthly payment going to be, and what do I have to put down out of pocket? So it really is super, super concerning. So with that being said, the one positive highlight is that Robotaxi is pretty much here. So I really think they need to start showing some evidence of revenue generation there and actually launching more to the public. Now I understand technologically there might still be challenges, and I also agree that Tesla has to take these things kind of slow because of the liability sake of it and just human safety side of things. So I know they need to take it slow. And I'm still okay with them taking it slow, but honestly, like, this could be such a big impact that I don't want to say Tesla's going to go out of business, but like, I mean, it could be really, really bad in the next 6 months to a year if Robotaxi isn't launched and becoming a full-fledged thing. Now, if Robotaxi launches, honestly, the tax credit is actually going to be better for Tesla than any other vehicle in the world, because now nobody else gets this tax credit. Nobody else gets this deduction in price, and Tesla still has the FSD, and it still has robotaxing, and can still go unsupervised. At least with that future potential there, so it again becomes like one of the most valuable vehicles in the world, which I still think is the most valuable vehicle in the world. A Tesla alone, with just the ability to have FSD, in my opinion, is worth $5,000-$10,000 more than what they're currently selling for, just for the ability to have FSD. I think with it equipped with FSD, with it licensed with lifetime FSD, like I have on all my vehicles, I bought mine at, I think, $8,000 each. I easily see that FSD being bought outright could be $15,000. I mean, it was at that price before. It was at $12,000 and $15,000 before. It could easily go back up its prices. It could go to 20, 30, 40,000, 50,000. I have other videos talking about how, like, maybe even have commercial use prices and stuff like that. And also the monthly membership could go from $100 to $200 a month or $300 a month. And there'll be a lot of people, maybe they can't afford it. And if they can't afford it, maybe Tesla will have the approach of, just take a Robotaxi then. If it's too expensive, you don't want to buy it. So I think Tesla does have that leverage as far as, like, once it's proven out that the vehicles are able to be robotaxis, be unsupervised, then I just think the valuation of those vehicles is going to go through the moon. They should, even if they don't, they should for sure. The two biggest things that are going to hold that back is just all the FUD news, the fake news against Tesla, and saying how it doesn't work and people are dying in crashes and blah, blah, blah things. That'll be one of the worst ones. And then the other thing is honestly going to be affordability. Getting people to afford the extra $100 a month. And also, too, like, affording it is the number one thing. The secondary thing is, like, the cost to value ratio. So even somebody who could afford it, do they want to spend that extra $100 a month? Maybe they don't drive enough. Maybe they only drive 10 minutes to work back and forth every day. And so, like, for them, it's not super worth it. So there'll be those type of people as well. There's just not enough cost to value ratio. It'd be cool to see Tesla in those type of instances offer a little bit more expensive per mile and offer like a FSD per mile type of subscription, which I haven't seen anybody doing that, but I think it'd be really great for Tesla to do that, especially for, again, people that won't spend that $100 a month, but you could still extract $50 a month out of them, $25 a month out of them. And maybe, again, they're only going 10 miles a day, back and forth to work, and that's pretty much all they drive. They drive 50 miles a week. So, I don't know what the cost would be, and it would be different for everybody, but the cost of your monthly subscription per mile versus, like, I'm going to do a quick calculation real quick. So I'm busting out my calculator. And I'm going to take my $8,000 divided by 18,000 miles. I believe it's 44 cents per mile. So as of right now, so I just took the $8,000 that I paid divided by 18,000 miles that I put on the vehicle so far. Let me just say. Yeah. And so that gives me a total of 44 cents per mile for FSD. Let me just run this out to like a much bigger number, like 100,000 miles. So at $8,000 for FSD, if you go 100,000 miles, that costs 8 cents. It's 8 cents a mile is what you pay for FSD. It's actually slightly, I'm going to say slightly expensive. But we get longer. I mean, 200,000 miles on the vehicle, you're 4 cents. Okay, if you can get your 300,000 miles out of your vehicle, you're at two cents per mile. So, and that's not including even being able to like transfer the license over to another vehicle and stuff like that, or any resale value that you can get out of that. That's just pure like what's my cost of FSD. So like as of right now, with bought outright at $8,000, 44 cents per mile. So you just say like you could charge 60 cents per mile, you know. And so for the same 17,000 miles times what I say, 60 cents a mile. Yeah. Oh, yeah, 60 cents a mile. That's you know, I mean, I don't even think that's far fetched. I think that they could charge more than that. No. I mean, that's probably good. That's probably good because I still, you know, mine's lifetime, so I have many more miles to put on my vehicle before it's over with. I mean, like you said, like I ran the calculation at like 100,000 miles. We're at 8 cents per mile. So I mean, yeah, I mean, they won't be 60 cents per mile. But if they ran it at, I don't know, let's say, they run it like 12 cents. But I'm getting off topic. This isn't the primary reason for the video. But I just wanted to get back into the tax credits and how they're going to have an impact. So again, the tax credits are really going to disrupt Tesla. I think that again this month is going to boost them up, or this quarter is going to boost them up for some extra sales they probably wouldn't have gotten. Individuals who are holding out to buy a vehicle like myself would maybe pull the trigger and go ahead and buy another one just to grab that $7,500 tax credit before it goes away. So there's that. Like then all the after the tax credit is gone, I think Tesla's going to have a huge impact on a few things. I think their total number of sales is going to go down, and I think their margins are going to go down. So right now Tesla's margins are at like 18% on their vehicles, and so man, I mean, you know, the margins are going to drop by maybe 10%. I think most automotive companies are in the single digit profit margins for automobiles. So I think that might happen. And I think that they're going to, you know, the price is going to have to come down on the existing vehicles. But the thing is, the cost is not going to come down for me and you. Like, we're actually probably going to still be paying more. So that was what I actually wasn't get at. At the end sticker price without the credit, we're going to be paying more then than we are now for a Tesla, because, you know, Tesla's only going to be able to lower the vehicle price by $2,500, $5,000. And can I do this calculation quick enough? Let's just say at $40,000 times. Yeah, okay, so they have a $7,200 margin. So basically all of their margin is coming from their the tax credit. I mean, this is a quick back of the napkin math that I'm doing here. So it's 40,000 times 18%, which is the current margin, $7,200. So yeah, it's not really not looking good. I mean, there's even plausibility that they have to raise the prices from what they are now. So not only do we have to pay, not only do we don't get the tax deduction, but they might even have to raise prices just to keep remaining profitable. Now, again, I think Tesla overall doesn't care about being profitable in their vehicles at this moment in time, primarily now just because of Robotaxi. They just want to keep producing more vehicles, get more eligible vehicles on the road for future Robotaxi. And honestly, just sustain. That's one of the biggest things I think that Tesla's in the position of now. They need to sustain until Robotaxi starts to launch in many different cities, and start to scale out in the existing cities and just become open to the public. So that's kind of my thoughts on this tax credit deduction. There's also some stuff that's going to impact Megapack and its profitability quite a bit. Also, the charger infrastructure. It's kind of crazy. It's almost like this bill was put in place to just attack Elon and Tesla and whatnot. I mean, it's pretty wild. Like it targeted and hit like pretty much all like battery storage and uh, electrical infrastructure and EV sector. But yeah, the one caveat that I have against all those things is I still think there's a small plausibility that all of this is just show. That one of the catalysts for this is Elon hasn't gotten his compensation package. And I don't know if his compensation package was paid out in shares or paid out in dollar amount, but he's mentioned that he wants to own more Tesla. So I would assume if that's the case, he wants to get his compensation package, buy into Tesla at lower prices. And so maybe they're ramping up their technology with Robotaxi, but they're also trying to like shove the stock price down by just creating a bunch of this drama around Trump and Elon and stuff like that, and these tax credits and stuff, all just to again keep the stock price down so Elon can get in and buy it at the prices at a lower price. Again, I don't know if it's cash he's getting or if it was actual shares. If he's getting shares, then it really shouldn't matter. But also if he's getting a certain dollar amount of shares, so like if he's getting $50 million worth of shares, that obviously matters because that's what I mean. That's cash. Even if he gets $50 million worth of shares, then again same thing as cash. So like better if you get $50 million of shares at $300 a share versus $350 a share or $400 a share or $450 a share. So yeah. We'll see how this pans out, and I'll keep you guys updated on any new news as far as anything basically Tesla related, entrepreneurship related, and catch you on the next one. Peace.